I served for 8 years on the Augusta County Board of Supervisors in an elected position, and then for 3 years on the Augusta County Service Authority, which handles the water and the public water and sewer for the county. And that gave me a lot of insight into the citizens, the land, the water, and how that all fit together for quality of life for our community and for the state. We've all learned a new word. I actually learned it when I was on the Board of Supervisors. It's called karst. And that really just means that underneath our feet in Augusta County and some other places along the pipeline route, it's like Swiss cheese. That Swiss cheese means there are caves and fissures and cracks, rock outcroppings, and it is the birthplace of our water. The headwaters of the James and the Shenandoah River arise and come out of the ground through those little cracks and fissures and caves and produce this amazing natural resource, good, pure, clean water that becomes the two storied rivers in Virginia, the James and the Shenandoah, and provides the drinking water for millions, including what you drink in the capital of Virginia and the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. Other features of karst is something called a sinkhole, which means that the ground will suddenly subside because water has eaten away and created a void underneath. And it's not uncommon for farmers to lose a cow and they find it down at the bottom of a sinkhole, or a tractor just goes down into that. And so that is inconvenient for the farmer and the cow, but if you run a pipeline through that, it also becomes dangerous to our water supply, because anytime you're inserting something into that Swiss cheese, you change the way the water flows, you contaminate it with construction materials, with soil, and so you change the quality and the quantity of it, and you don't really have any control over it. It's Mother Nature who's in control. And so along the route in Augusta County alone, and Augusta County has more miles of this proposed pipeline than any other place on the 600 miles. We have about 57 miles of proposed pipeline, and there are over 70 sinkholes that the pipeline will directly cross. That's not counting sinkholes that may open up during construction because you've disturbed the ground and changed it. And if you have a pipe, even if you've not created some kind of contamination during construction, if you have a pipe that a sinkhole opens up and puts enough pressure on that pipe that's spanning that abyss, then it bends and a leak occurs. And if a leak occurs and then there's a spark, then you have an explosion. So you've got multiple dangers to the water, dangers to public safety. And Dominion talks about this being a job creator, and in reality, it's a job killer.
Yeah. In what way? Can you say more?
Well, when I say that this pipeline is a job killer, there are a couple things. One is Dominion itself says that there'll be less than 40 permanent jobs in the state of Virginia after this. So the people who will be building this pipeline are transient workers. They'll come here and then go. And Dominion, for instance, in Augusta County, is looking at campgrounds where they can rent 300 spaces. Well, if they were hiring local people, they wouldn't need to camp. They'd just be coming from their homes. So we know that they're not local construction workers. They'll be here and gone. But think about where the pipeline crosses. In Augusta County, it crosses a lot of commercially zoned land. There'll be a permanent 75-foot easement where you can't build anything. So that is a 75-foot wide strip in a commercial area where you can never build a business, so you'll never have the local construction jobs. You'll never have the jobs with the business. You'll never realize any income from the business that wasn't built. So there you have a job killer right there. Mm-hmm. People tell me that they can't sell their property because if you have two equal pieces of property, except for one has a pipeline 25 feet from the house and one doesn't, which are you going to buy? I think it's a no-brainer.
You're gonna reap just what you sow.